Good morning, everyone. I'm EagleX from ATX EagleX Gaming, and I have our Marketwatch for July 22nd. If you enjoy this content, I would appreciate if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with the latest content. And if you guys haven't seen, I've had over 500 subscribers. Just want to say thank you so much once again. I'm so excited to hopefully hit that goal of 1,000 subs by the end of the year is my goal. And if you guys haven't seen also, I run tournaments every week on Tuesdays. I have my webcam local win-a-box, and this will be a BT9 format tournament. We will allow the use of proxies because we allow international competition, and not everywhere has access to the boxes yet, as there have been delays. But I would love for people to check out the tournament in the description below. I have access to my Discord, and in the Discord you can find information on my tourneys or on limit lists. So let's go ahead and get started with today's Marketwatch. Lots of big news, lots of things to talk about. So first, I always like looking at sealed product, and if you remember, last week Double Diamond was like $140 per box. But you saw the market price was in the roughly $80 range. As we see the low listing and the market price listing come closer together, we can expect the price to be more at a settled point. For example, 1.5's market and low are basically the same, which means that's what boxes roughly go for. Similar with 1.0. Pretty close for Battle of Omni, and the pre-sales for BT9, etc. You can see that for other boxes. So this is just low listings at the moment. Expect the price to keep dropping or for the market to increase so they match. So first thing I want to talk about is actually not the ban list, but it's a reprint we're getting. So we've seen TP kits before. In TP6, if you take a look here, we are getting reprints of Angelomon, Zudomon, WarGreymon, and Metal Kabuterimon from the first Tamer Party Battle Pack. These were so hard to find back in the days where product was shorted, and you're paying like $120 for the SR Omnimon alone. We also have our Doru Gray and our Woodmon in the pack as well. And in the winter pack, you have the Minomon, Pidomon, Myosmon, Dark Tyrannomon. So what does that mean? Well, it looks like there might be some type of foiling on these cards based on the textures I can see here. But regardless, nonetheless, I will expect the prices of the original cards to go down and reflect that as there is an alternative supply for these markings in particular. So we already saw the Angelomon start to tick down a little bit. And then, obviously, the ban list, we're going to see PR Jets tank. We see $21, they're $30 market price. They're just going to keep going lower now that they're at 1 of and Yellow Hybrid's essentially dead. And now we're preparing for BT9 format. And I want to prepare everyone for what we're expecting. We're expecting to see single stack OTK decks, and for decks to take an OTK against decks like BL Star and Security Control, Delicate Plan will be super popular with Hero Tamer as a tech. If you don't have Delicate Plans, make sure you get them sooner than later, as this card is a staple if you want to play a safe way to swing in Security. And on a similar note, Memory Boosts are a great way to consistently find your pieces for an OTK deck, to help you find your level 6, to help you find your Security Attack Plus cards. So if you don't have all your Memory Boosts, make sure you get your playset. If you want the alt arts, they're at a fair price for what they will see play. Now to do a quick rundown on decks. First, we have Green, which is Grandis OTK. Jamming Palmon. This card's probably not needed now with Yellow Hybrid being dead. So that's my thought on that. That was the main deck that would provide big DP stack Digimon. But with Grandis, you will naturally hit 18k now, because you have 4k on your turn, 12k naturally, and 2k from a Yoko buff. So 18k is probably going to safely swing over everything in format. As we can see here, this is Delicate Plan with the starter tie, not the BT1 tie. They get these mixed up sometimes on .dev, and you can tell because they have a fixer already. But if you don't have it, Terramon memory blockers to respond to Memory Boost. Palmons were considerable. I don't think they're needed anymore. And then it's going to be the Okuamon promo. So first Palmons, they're like 20 apiece. I think it's a good time to dump them unless they see play more than what I think they will. But this is a cool one promo. This is the one that everyone wants in their grandest list. It has basically a mini ice wall effect. When you go into Insectoid, all Digimon gain when they become suspended, lose a memory. So basically when they attack or they get Digizorbs, they will lose a memory. You have a Piercing as an inheritable. This card is something I would look out for. The reason I say that is, if you think about cards that came in a promo for a box, Sunarisamon was a power-up pack card, similarly distributed. During his peak, he was like 30, 40 some bucks. And we can see like he was short printed and really needed for black decks. Similarly, we have the Dash Pack Gabumon. I don't know if you guys remember. We gotta find the promo. But when this card came out, it was also like a $30 staple for the longest time, as you needed 4 copies in Gabumon to be playable. He has like $15, $30. And I remember getting a lot of them for like the $25 mark. So just something to think about when you think about Kuomon. These are very comparable promos and precedents. Grand Quagga, the boss monster, you absolutely need though for these green decks. Make sure you have them. It's the only way you get your extra checks. And realistically, if you don't have them, I don't think you can play the deck at all. And then Mimi, the Fixer, is the last thing I'd pay attention to, as this is a way you can suspend and promote a rookie for game if you have 2 of them out, or go into a hybrid. The next deck I want to look at is your WarGreymon list, WarGreymon and X-Antibody. Cards you definitely need from old sets that you may not have. The Greymon from the starter deck, Security Attack +1, generically is strong. WarGreymon from BT1. When digivolving, gain an extra check, and you don't check options. This will be big against BL Star. This will be big against security control. You have your Blitz Omni to take game after you do 5 checks. And you got your Tai Kamiya, which will give you an extra check if you have 4 or more sources, along with being your fixer. So Tai Kamiya, expect this card to spike as Yellow Hybrid, which is one of the more difficult matchups I feel, is getting hit. The Greymons, we're seeing the Judge Greymons come down, but we're seeing the starter deck ones go up. Make sure you have your Greymons if you don't have them. And then your 1.0 WarGreymon. This card is probably the most optimal WarGreymon for the list, besides an EX1 WarGrey if we feel blockers will be relevant. Then Blitz Omni is a staple to take game, not just in red decks, but also in blue decks. Don't have them, keep an eye out for them. These have been slowly ticking up, and the alts will definitely tick up as well, but thankfully there are multiples of them to help eat that up. And then Omnimon X-Antibody. I expect this to be a popular 1, maybe 2 of index. Keep an eye out for this as well. The reason this is relevant is because when you make an X-Antibody stack, you're going to have a very tall Digimon stack, and removing 2 sources to negate an attack won't be that hard to do. Next, we want to take a look at black decks. We have our X-Antibody deck for Alphamon. And the only real old card that you need for this, or not even old, but previous SR, is Oryumon, as you can restand with a Digimon that has Alphamon in its name, which includes Oryukin mode. And if you don't have Dorumon, he is a rare you will need as a 4 of. And his alt art has come down a lot. His rare is like $2. Grab them if you don't have them. And then the Oryu Monster approaching $4. Nothing unreasonable, but just make sure you have them. Next, and our second to last deck, is Guru X-Antibody. It's a pretty dry cut list. Get your promo Gururus. Get your promo Wear Gururus. These are going up really fast now. And then finally, BL Star being the last deck I want to cover. The blue base is most popular, as bouncing and source stripping are very important to negate OTKs. And this is like your security control list that you can play at the moment. It doesn't heal, but it has lots of removal and late game value. The All-Stars have been upticking again because we're getting ready for the format. And similarly, 7-cost options have been bouncing up as well, Howling Crusher most notably. The one I would definitely look out for if you don't have it, though, is your Nailbone, as this is an exclusive to the purple starter deck at 2 copies. That being said, what do you think about today's Market Watch? Appreciate if you can comment below. That being said, take care, y'all.